So as you guys know, who've been coming for the past few weeks, every week I change it up according to what the energy's like. How are we all feeling? It's been a really strange, like 2020 was a strange but very, very, it was a powerful year, and it incorporated a lot of changes. But I do feel that 2020 was preparing us for 2021. And so the energies are really getting a little bit, like, people are feeling a little bit ragged, but deflated, I think, is a lot of the words that a lot of my students have been mentioning. But part of the practices that I've been doing personally, I felt I wanted to share. I know that everyone, well, most of you that are here tonight have been practicing for quite some time. So some of the practices we're going to do tonight are not, if you're a teacher, they're not to be just taught to the general public, because it's quite powerful tantric practices that you know, because they're so powerful and they do work. It can, if people that have not been practicing before practice it, it could make them feel quite strange, or it just won't be so beneficial for them. So this is for you to do, and do what you can with it. It's your practice. There's no judgment. Have fun with it. Be a curious observer, and yeah, just flow with where you're at. So we're approaching the full moon. So the past couple of weeks, I did a practice that incorporated chakra balancing, and we did chakra balancing, and then I moved into restorative, and it seemed to work. Last week, I taught a Kundalini class. I've never taught a Kundalini class. I had so much fun teaching it. So we did a Kundalini practice for stress and moved into a Yin class. So tonight, some of you will know that I want to incorporate some of my tantric practices. So we're going to work with something called Rudra Yaga. And the first part of the practice, I've been enjoying doing it in two parts. The first practice is going to be a Moon Mandala, because we're moving towards the full moon in Virgo, and this full moon in Virgo is on Saturday, and it's apparently one of the most auspicious full moons of this year. So a lot of the time full moons can bring in heightened emotions. It can be quite, but this one is going to hold our space. There's lots of trines in the air, which means that there's going to be some good stuff happening. Interestingly, if you're a Gemini rising like myself, it's good and auspicious for home moves, and I'm moving this weekend, even though my house isn't ready. So yeah, so that's where we're at. We're going to do a full moon practice, a Moon Mandala, just to get the energies flowing, and so that we can still the mind stuff and move into the tantric stuff. Okay, so the tantric stuff involves kumbhaka, breath retention, bandhas, and and they're all together and combined to make a mudra, you know, so a seal. Okay, and it's gonna, this one, what we're working with, is called Rudra Yaga, and I've really, because I've been doing a lot of moon practices, the moon practice from the tantric perspective is to calm you down, is to still, you know, I'm a Vata, so I like to move all the time. So it's to really bring some sense of peace and calm and stability, the stiram sukham. Now, what I've been working with, it's almost like too much in that sense that I've been feeling really like tamasic, and I need to move, and I need to find my inner power, for I'm moving house and doing all these things and renovating, work, dealing with tradesmen and builders on my own. So I need to find this fire, and I think we all need it to find our fire. So the tantrics believe that we're working with our practice to dissolve the chakras. It's not really about balancing them as such. And instead of working from Muladhara, the base chakra, working up, basically, if you work with the Manipura chakra and find your fire, it's called Rudrani, then you'll be able to burn off some of like burn off any of the karmic stuff that we hold on to in our first and second chakras. So that's what we're working with tonight. It's in 4 stages, and I'm going to talk you through the stages once we get there. But it's 4 key mudras, and they're quite specific. So if some of you guys are trainees with me, if you want to take notes, and that's absolutely perfect. Okay, but I'll dive into it as we go. So it's working if you do work with that. It works if you start to bring in more patience in your life, insight, non-attachment, less drama, joy, self-trust, self-worth. Once you start stepping out of your own way, being curious with life and enjoying where you're at, and that's a sign that your practices are working, not this big glowy thing that you read in books. It's just you start to be comfortable with yourself and believe in yourself and believe in the universe and have faith. So that's I feel that we need tonight. So we're working with this full moon. Full moon is about forgiveness. It's about gratitude. We're in the waxing phase. The moon's getting bigger. Our energies, we're about tying up loose ends. We've still got this energy. It's a buildup of energy, moving towards Saturday. And we're going to work with the goddess Lakshmi. Lakshmi is about abundance. She's about abundance of joy, love, prosperity, but not through just hoping for the best or just asking for nice things and then getting them. It's through hard work. So it's about doing your practices and getting it from there. Okay, so working with Lakshmi, and so I think we're going to do a wee card before we start. Pull the card, and then I'll stop speaking so much and get on with your practice, because I'm aware that I noticed a lot of people left. We had a really full house and people left because I spoke too much. I'm not going to take it personally. It's all fine. Ooh, we've got the Hanged Man today. The Hanged Man. So luckily, I've got a book that's going to take it down to layman's terms for us tonight. So we're not going to go into anything very deep. But this is life in suspension. It's about transition, change. It's about reversal of the mind and one's way of life. So in a passive sense, it's about apathy. It's about renunciation and the changing of life's forces. It's the period of respite between significant events. It's about readjustments and efforts having to be undertaken to succeed towards a period of abundance. So it's a pause in one's life, and it's outside factors having strong influences. Wow, that's so relevant to us all, I think. Okay, so I think it's basically telling us to keep going. Changes are happening, but it's up to us to do the work inside. Okay, so let's check in with ourselves today. So coming into a seated position, shoulders are back and down, the crown of the head is lifted. Tuck the chin in slightly. Just closing your eyes. We're coming into breathing in for the count of 4 and out for the count of 4, Samavriti. So just really check in with your breath, aiming to smooth out the rough edges. Your palms can be open to receive. Relax your jaw. Feel your spine lengthening. Feeling that invisible thread pulling your head up to the heavens, and be aware of your sit bones grounding you to the earth. Release any tension you're holding in the pelvic area. Become aware of any pranic imbalances within? How are you feeling emotionally, mentally, physically? Just be curious, no judgment. Just check in and know that you're perfect, just as you are. So we're going to do just a couple of rounds of the Lakshmi Mantra before we begin. Feel free to join in. I apologize for my lack of singing voice. But yeah, so we're going to come into the Lotus Mudra, Padma Mudra. So, and calling in the abundance of Lakshmi in our practice and in our lives right now. And the mantra is Om Shrim Lakshmiaye Namaha. Okay, here we go. Om Shrim Lakshmiaye Namaha. Om Shrim Lakshmiaye Namaha. Om Shrim Lakshmiaye Namaha. From here, we're coming up to standing. So we're going to begin our Moon Mandala. So standing your mat. And we're going to take our arms up over our head and take your fingers into Kali Mudra. Kali she's the fierce mother goddess. She gets a bad name. I love a bit of Kali in my life. So big circles with your body. So we're moving in circles tonight because life moves in cycles. So everything's cyclical. And go around the other way. And then from here, take your right knee up and then stepping the right leg back and moving into Vajrayogini 1. So you're heel to heel, your hips are square, Kali Mudra again, and just nice big circles or small circles. That's where you're at today. Round the other way. And then from here, turning round the mat, turning to the right, coming into Goddess Mudra. So bending the knees, tucking the tailbone in slightly, and breathing that beautiful energy of Lakshmi into your heart. Engage Mula Bandha. Inhaling to straighten the legs, take your feet parallel, hands onto your hips. Inhale to open up in the heart. Exhale to fold into Prasarita Padmanasana. Hands onto your hips. Inhaling to come all the way back up. We're moving into something called Dandasana. So you're bending your left knee, coming down and turning to the right, bending the right knee. So you're moving from side to side on the mat with the breath. There's no moving a fluid way. So there's not about alignment here. We're working with energy. Then inhaling to come all the way back up. Turning your right foot to the back of your mat and taking your arms up. We're moving into Uttita Trikonasana. So imagine someone's pulling these right fingertips. Drop the right fingertips down to the shin and the left fingertips are coming up to the sky. So find your drishti point. If you've got neck issues, you don't have to look right up at your fingertips here. Open up that left armpit and feel that lovely lateral stretch. Laterals are very inspiring. Find your breath, breathing into the left side of your body. Take your left hand onto your left hip and your right hand's coming about foot in front of that right foot and you're moving into Ardash Andrasana. Sorry, excuse me, I've gone into a radiator here. This is the joys of online teaching. So half moon pose. Turn to the back of your mat, squaring your hips, and gently dropping your foot down into Uttanasana, standing forward bend. Bend your knees if you need to. Take your left knee back, moving into Crescent Moon Pose, arms all the way up to the sky. Inhale to open up the heart. Exhale, hands to heart center. Keep going. From here, you're going to keep turning around the mat, and we're moving into Gomukhasana leg. So right leg is on the top of the left leg. The left arm's coming up, sorry, the right arm's coming all the way up the sky. Take it down the back, and the left arm's coming underneath to hold on. Gently releasing. Take your legs out, front of you. And then from here, you're going to bend this right knee and turn to the front of your mat. The left leg's out behind you, moving into, if you can see me, moving into Ekapada Raja Kapotanasana, gentle pigeon pose. You can stay upright if you like, or coming down, resting your forehead onto the stacked hands. Inhaling to come all the way back up, and then coming onto your knees, sitting back on the heels and taking your arms out in front of you into child's pose. And then gently pushing into downward facing dog. And then walking your feet towards your hands into Uttanasana. And inhaling, take your arms all the way up to the sky. Exhale, hands into your heart center. Take your arms down by your side, connecting into your breath and feeling the prana flow through your body. Let's do the other side. So inhale, take your arms up, Kali Mudra, big circles. Round the other way. And then from here, take that left knee up and then take it back, moving into Virabhadrasana 1 on the other side. And again, Kali Mudra and big circles or small ones. And round the other way. Moving into Goddess pose, bending the knees, palms open, engage Mula Bandha, calling in that energy into your heart center with the breath, Lakshmi. Inhaling to straighten the legs, place the feet parallel, hands onto the hips. Inhale to open the heart. Exhaling to fold forwards into Prasarita Padmanasana. Hands onto your hips. Inhaling, coming all the way back up. And then from here, moving into Skandasana again. Coming all the way back up, turn the left foot out to your heel to instep, coming into Utthita Trikonasana. Imagine someone pulling these left fingertips, take your left fingertips down to the shin, the right fingers are up to the sky. And don't worry about the neck alignment if you're feeling a strain in your neck. Listen to your body. Feel the extension through the spine and breathe into the right side of your body here. Feel it really opening up. Just awakening that area. Fill it with prana. Place your right hand onto your right hip and the left hand about a foot in front of that left foot, and take that right leg up. Moving into Ardash Andrasana. Find your breath. Flexing that foot. Turning to the front, squaring the hips, dropping that foot down, and gently folding into Uttanasana. From here, taking that right knee back and coming into Crescent Moon. Inhale to open up your heart, and exhale, hands to heart center. From here, keep turning around your mat into Gomukhasana legs again. So the left leg is on top of the right, listening to your body, make sure there's no pain there. And then from here, take your left arm up, take it down your back, and the right arm is going to come underneath to try and hold on. So tuck in the chin, open up that left armpit, inhale to open up, and then exhale to let go. Gently releasing. Take your legs out in front of you. And then from here, bending that left knee, turn to the front of your mat and moving into Ekapada Raja Kapotanasana. So your pigeon pose. Or if you're a yin yogi, it could be the sleeping swan pose. So just make sure you're not holding tension, the jaw, the shoulders. Remember, it's not about how great your shape is in the mat. This is more about the function as opposed to the form. What do you want to achieve energetically with your body? Then from here, slowly coming back up, coming onto your knees and sitting back on your heels, stretch your arms out into child's pose, Balasana. Curling your toes under, pushing up into downward facing dog. From here, slowly walking your feet towards your hands, folding into Uttanasana, and then inhaling, taking your arms all the way up, exhaling, taking your hands into your heart center, and then coming into Tadasana. Again, check in with yourself, close your eyes, feel all four corners of your feet connect into the earth. Be aware of the pranic flow of energy. Now I want you to, as you inhale, draw the breath down to behind the navel, from the crown of the head. As you exhale, take the breath from the base of your spine up to behind the navel. So inhale the breath down to gather energy behind this navel point. Exhale, draw the energy up. We're starting to build this fire in the belly now. Start to bring the prana there. It's called pranadharana. It's not an 80s band. I always say that. It does sound like an 80s band. So really bring that awareness into the navel point, where we build the fire, where we burn away our karma, the karmic impurities. So we're going to now move. We just did a small little part of just to warm us up, to get us into our tantric practices. We're going to work with Agnisara. So you're staying standing up, and it's in 3 stages. Okay, and if you feel you're holding too long, don't hold so you get a panicky feeling. Okay, come out of it and breathe naturally. Don't get yourself in a panicky place when you're working with Kumbhaka, breath retention. These are really powerful practices. They're only really meant to be taught to practitioners who've been practicing for some time. Okay, so if it doesn't feel right for you, don't do it. Don't let your ego take you there. Okay, be intuitive and listen to Vijnanamaya Kosha, your inner teacher. So Agnisara, you're coming down first of all into a very ladylike pose here. So I've been dealing with a lot of the patriarchal society, having to hang about B&Q all the time. So yes, as a woman, our voices still aren't heard, I can tell you. So anyway, so let's build that fire so we can be heard. So the first part to this, you're just going to breathe in deeply, breathe out deeply, keep the breath held out, draw in your navel. You're going to tuck the chin in and pull in Mula Bandha. So all 3 bandhas, Treta Bandha, and hold. Release the bandhas. Inhale into the chest. Exhale. Treta Bandha again and hold. Release, breathing into the chest. And then one more time. Release the bandhas. Inhale, come up to standing. Really feel that fire building in your body now. Check in with yourself. It's very powerful. Okay, moving into the next part of this. Okay, it's good fun. So the next part, what we're doing is when you breathe out, you're going to come into tuck the chin into Jalandhar Bandha, and then you're going to draw Uddiyana Bandha in and release. Okay, as you've allowed the breath out, move with the breath held out, and then you're going to release and inhale to come back up. We'll do that 3 times. Okay, just try it. It's all good. You can practice this at home as well. It's quite complex stuff as well. So hopefully nobody's had a full dinner before you started. I don't want any pukers in the room. Okay, so breathing in, breathing out. Release the bandhas. Inhale into the chest. Exhaling again. One more time. And coming up to standing. Okay, checking in with yourself here. Start to feel the work. So this practice is in 4 different stages. There's 4 techniques. So this is the first stage that we're working with. We're doing it in 3 different segments. So this is the last segment to Agnisara. Okay. So if you feel that the last one was enough for you, work with that. Okay. So basically, what we're going to do now is when you breathe in deeply and then you breathe out, and then you tuck in the chin and draw in Uddiyana Bandha, and then lift up one hand, keeping the bandhas, lift, and then drop it, lift up the other ones. This really makes you have to work. And then we're going to do the belly movements and then release, okay? And come back up, okay? So really working at it. So here we go. Are you ready? Okay, well, we do it. I'm going to do that 2 more times. Okay, here we go. You finished, come back up to standing. And you really feel that lift in energy. We're building some fire tonight. So after feeling really low, we're going to find our, so by working with Manipura chakra, the positiveness of Manipura is it builds compassion, clarity, and courage. Okay, that's what we're looking for. Okay, so that's the first stage. You're going to come down now, and we're going to move into the next part of this. So the next part of this is we're moving into, it's a variation of Viparati Krani. It's the way I teach shoulder stance because it's actually really good for your neck. I'm going to go sideways so you can see me. So we're, first of all, we're going to settle down into Shavasana just to allow the energy to, just to prepare ourselves. You don't want to throw your body up there. It's a very complex pose. This is the queen of all poses. The headstand's the king. Okay, so you're going to push yourself up by the elbows, holding onto the hips, but then you're going to dip your hips. So your feet are directly above your head. So there's not so much pressure in the cervical spine. It's much safer. So from here, I want you to really breathe into your belly and imagine that the burning flames from your navel are burning away any karmic remnants in the first and second chakras. This is the water and earth elements, the fire, are helping to dissolve these chakras and help us to allow us to move forwards in our life and evolve. So breathing into your belly. And slowly and gently allowing yourself to come down into Shavasana, just for a few wee breaths, listening to your body. And then rolling onto your belly, as you can see with any sort of, this is the real Kundalini stuff as well. Kundalini Tantric practice, sometimes they don't flow like a nice wee vinyasa in a sequence. We're really working with the energetics as opposed to the mechanics and the sequencing side of things tonight. Okay, so coming onto your belly, and we have warmed ourselves up enough for this. We're moving into Dandasana, but if this isn't enough, if this is too much for you tonight, come into Ardash Andrasana by taking your left arm out, bending that right leg and just doing the half. But otherwise, you're going to hold onto these ankles, flex your feet, and as you inhale, push the shins away from you. So most of you guys are aware that belly down back bends are so good for you. They also stimulate the vagus nerve. So they're good for the sympathetic system. Sorry, the parasympathetic system. So they're good for your mental health. But they're also tri-doshic. So they balance all three doshas. Slowly coming down. Stack the hands in front of you. Rest your forehead down. Just allowing the energy to flow through your body, being aware of the prana. Slowly and gently moving into Balasana, child's pose. Take your arms down by your side this time. Just to rebalance the spine after the back bend. And then taking your hands either side of your head, and we're gently pushing yourselves up. So moving into the second stage of Rudra Yaga. So this is called Vajrayogini. So this part of it, this aspect is the Kali, the Durga aspect. This is the active expression of Om Mani Padme Hum. This is it gets you that burning, like, let's go. So we can work with the mantra Ram as well, Ram, when we're working with this. So make sure you don't have a blocked nose, because it could get messy. We're going to be clearing Ida and Pingala here, but quite powerfully. So it's clearing the channels. So make sure you've got tissues if you've not cleared the channels. I already did this practice earlier today. So I'm going to talk you through it first, and then we can do it together 3 times. So what we're doing is you're interlacing your finger. You're on sitting in Thunderbolt Pose, Vajrayogini, and you interlace your fingers behind your back. Inhale deeply through the chest. Inhale deeply into the chest, and then you're breathing out through the mouth, coming forwards. And then you're going to engage Treta Bandha. So tucking in the chin, engaging the bandhas, holding the breath out. And now you're going to breathe deeply into the chest and hold. And then come up halfway, exhale gently, and then inhale all the way up. Take your right hand to the right nostril, breathe out quickly through the left. Inhale with your both. And then the left thumb to the left nostril, breathe out quickly and powerfully through the right. So it might get messy. Okay, so that's what we're doing with this practice. So it's very complex with tantric practices, but you'll feel the energetic differences afterwards. Okay, so I'm going to talk you through the first one that we do together, and then the next 2. See if you can try and find you'll be able to feel it more in your body if you're not listening to me talking at you all the time. So interlace your fingers behind your back. Inhale into your chest, and then exhale powerfully through the mouth. And then from here, engage the bandhas. Inhale deeply into the chest. Keep engaging Treta Bandha. Hold. Coming up halfway, exhale just part of the breath. And then inhale, come all the way up. And then breathing out through the left nostril. Out through the right. And then just checking with yourself. Yeah. Feel a bit silly when you're doing that powerful thing. You get used to it. It's a really great way of clearing the nadis. Okay. So let's do it 2 more times. Okay. Interlacing the fingers. Exhale.
Engage the bandhas. Inhale into the chest. Engaging Theta Bandha Kumbhaka. Hold the breath in. Release the bandhas. Come halfway up. Exhale slightly. And then inhale, come all the way up. And then exhale through the left. Inhale through both. Exhale through the right. Inhale through both. Okay, check in with yourself. Okay, you're starting to feel that energetic difference. Let's do that one more time. I'm going to be silent. Okay, here we go. Okay. You're starting to feel the upward moving energy. It's a good feeling. We're starting to feel a bit more, alive. I don't want you to feel too alive so you'll be able to see, you can't sleep tonight, but this is just giving you that personal power. So let's move into the third part of this tantric practice. And I love this one. It's great fun. So don't move in a way that feels really natural to you. Okay, so it doesn't have to be structured. So it's really flowing with the energy here. So it's called a Ganesha Mudra. So you're coming onto your hands and knees here. Okay, and then you're taking your hands are going to come out to, like, quite wide to the mat, and then you come down onto the elbows. Okay, so your bottom sticking up the sky here, and then from here, your elbows shouldn't be on the ground. The elbows are bent, so because you want to, I'll demonstrate first of all again. Okay, so you're right down with your bottom in the air, and then you're going to breathe in and then breathe out. Hold the breath out, engage the bandhas, and then circle your body 3 times clockwise, keeping the breath held out. Come back to center, breathe in, breathe out, engage the bandhas, and then you're going anti-clockwise 3 ways, but do it in a way that feels really natural to you. So it's quite fluid. Okay, so let's do that. So we'll start the first round, coming down, bending the elbows, breathing in, breathe out, engage the bandhas, and 3 times in a circular movement. Breathing in, breathe out, hold the breath out, and then anti-clockwise 3 times. Breathing in, breathe out. Let's go clockwise again. Breathe in, breathe out, anti-clockwise. And then coming up to seated position onto your knees. Okay, checking in with yourself again. You're starting to really feel that fire. Okay, the last part of this 4-part of Yaga, Rudra Yaga, is Yoga Mudra. Okay, so yoga mudra, you're going to get your fists. So hopefully nobody's had a 3-course meal at the beginning of your practice. I think most of you guys know not to have a big meal before you practice anyway. So what we're going to do here is you've got your fists. This is really the big one. This is the biggie. So this is where we have hatha, the sun and moon coming together. Remember we started off with the sun and the moon coming together. This is about things that aren't supposed to come together, coming together to create. And this is what this full moon that's moving towards. We've got Virgo and Pisces working together. They're very, very different. Virgo is practical and very working with fixing things, and Pisces is all dreamy and magical, and they're coming together and they're going to work well together. How do they work well together? They just do. It's the same with hatha yoga. So this is the culmination of our full moon in Virgo practice. Okay, so it's the solar energy and lunar energy coming together. So again, I'm going to demonstrate what we're going to do here is you're just going to get your hands are going to come up into this area, like your belly area. Inhale through the chest, into the chest, and then exhale, and then coming forwards, and then tucking the chin in, engaging these bandhas. Come back up. Release. Inhale. Come all the way up. And then you're going to exhale through the left. Inhale. Exhale through the right. Inhale. Okay, so we're going to do that 3 times. Here we go. From here, you're going to imagine the mantra Om reverberating around the base of the spine here. Release the bandhas, inhaling to come up, out the left. Inhale, out the right. Inhale. Okay, 2 more times. Inhale to come up. As you exhale, think the mantra Ram. One more time. Release the bandhas. Inhale to come up. Close your eyes. Check in with yourself. Where are you now? It's almost like a light has been switched on. And if you don't feel like that, that's okay too. There's no rights or wrongs here. So take your legs out in front of you. I'm going to move into, we've built a lot of fire. We don't want to burn out. So we need to bring a little bit of coolness in. So we're going to cool ourselves down so we don't burn completely out. So moving into Paschimottanasana. Inhaling, taking your arms up. Exhaling to fold forwards, inhaling to come halfway up, lengthen through the spine, and then exhaling to fold. Breathe into the belly. And let go of Ujjayi breath. So try and work with a silent breath, building prana in the belly and feeling the reverberation of the mantra Om at the root of our spines here. So the silent breath, breathing into the belly, brings us more into an internal practice. Inhaling to come all the way up, moving into Dandasana, shoulders back and down, flex the feet towards you. Breathing the energy of Lakshmi into your heart. Feeling joy, prosperity, love, abundance, and healing light up your heart. And then from here, moving onto your back, keeping the knees bent, your feet are hip width apart, arms down by your side. Just do a few dynamic Setu Bandhasanas. Inhale, lifting up the hips, take the arms over your head. Exhaling to fold, to bring your arms and your hips slowly back down. So inhaling up and exhaling back down. From here, draw your knees into your belly. And as you inhale, you're going to take your arms over your head and straighten your legs. Exhale, arms down by your side and draw the knees in. Inhale, arms over the head, straighten the legs. So keep working with that. It's a nice way of rebalancing your spine. And keeping the knees drawn in, opening your arms out like wings. And as you exhale, drop the knees to the right and look along your left wing. Inhale, bring your knees back up to center. Exhale, drop the knees to the left and look to the right. Inhale, take your knees back up to center. And then taking your feet together into a kind of Vajrayogini, interlace the fingers over the toes, push the elbows into the inner thighs and try and pull the feet towards you without holding tension in the jaw or shoulders. It just brings more stability into the sacrum and stops any sort of spasming before Shavasana. And then from here, take your legs out, your arms down, and moving into your well-deserved Shavasana. You can start working with the golden thread breath, breathing in through your nose, out through your mouth, as if you're breathing out the golden thread. Now let go of the breath and allow yourself to melt into your mat. Shavasana tonight is about embracing your power and finding the confidence to speak your truth, empowered by nature to be your true self. So bring your attention into the space in front of the closed eyes and look into that space where dreams appear at night and see yourself walking through a beautiful forest on a warm spring afternoon. Trees grow tall around you and the sunlight warms your face. You're carrying a small bag and a warm blanket, and you arrive in the banks of a fast-flowing stream. You place the folded blanket on a soft bed of dry leaves, and when you sit down in it, you instantly feel absolutely comfortable and at peace. The folds of the blanket wrap around you, and you feel warm and protected. Across the stream, flowers are growing, and blooms of blue and white and yellow. The only sound is the running water and the birds singing in the trees. It is a sacred, peaceful space. It smells fresh and alive. You open the bag you've been carrying and take out the precious objects within. And the bag contains everything you need. There is a bright red cord which you lay around you in the form of a circle, securing the boundaries of your circular space. There are flower garlands which you lay in the earth in front of you. And there's a small red candle in a golden bowl whose sides are pierced with little heart-shaped cutouts. When you light the candle with the matches that you find in the bag, the flame of the candle glows bright and its light shines out through the hearts and sides of the bowl. As you light your candle, you feel that you have begun a ritual process of great beauty and power. The light shines on you, and you sit comfortably in the warm blanket and hear the sound of the running water by your side. You take the flower garlands and place them around your neck, smelling the fresh smell of the blooms. Their fragrance is exquisite. You reach out your hand to touch your fingertips in the running water of the stream and lift them up to your head. Drops of water touch the crown of your head and you feel yourself anointed. You're at one with the stream and the trees and the flowers and the creatures of the forest. The mother of the forest embraces you. The water from the stream anoints you, and you hear the words from your heart. I feel myself anointed by the whole of nature. I honor my own power and wisdom. I am fully myself. I fully inhabit the world in my power. I am ready for this next phase of life. I am met and honored. Knowing that this ritual is complete, experience the quality of the feeling that it creates. Savor the sense of peaceful welcome the whole forest extends to you, and know that you're at home in the world, your own true self. You are free to be simply part of a living pulse of the planet. A woman who embraces her own power to live her truth. This ritual has affirmed this. Have a sense of real connection to this powerful image. Tender and very potent. Be aware of the fire in your navel, the fire you've created. And imagine this fire healing. It's generating throughout your body and lighting up and healing all aspects of you. Release the image of the flame and just be.
Starting to be aware of any noises far away, any noises nearby. Come back to your breath, back to where your body's lying on the floor. Be aware of your belly rising and falling. And you can start to make any movements that feel natural to you, stretching out your body, maybe drawing your knees in. And rolling on to your right side, giving yourself a hug. And then coming back up to seated position. Taking your hands into Lotus Mudra. And we're going to end with Lakshmi's mantra. Om Shrim Lakshmiaye Namaha. Your hands into Anjali Mudra. Your hands up to your third eye, thanking your inner teacher, and back into your heart. Namaste. Thank you for practicing yoga with me tonight. So take it easy tonight, guys, because we did a lot of energy work. I'm going to stop recording.